Alright, welcome back everybody. Today we're covering why we're very lucky to have Brad Garlinghouse as our CEO. This is 7 of many reasons why Brad Garlinghouse is the best CEO. His visionary leadership for global payments. Brad Garlinghouse is a total visionary, pushing XRP to solve the massive problem of slow and expensive global payments. He's got Ripple working with huge banks and companies, making XRP a real player in the financial world. This guy's not just dreaming big. He's making it happen.
And find that it was the Napster of digital assets. What I mean by that is Napster was the first to digitize music and demonstrate, hey, if you digitize music, you can do a lot of cool things with that. But ultimately, they were circumventing trademark laws, they were circumventing royalty payments, and government stepped in, and Napster was not successful. But Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, they were very successful. I think what you'll find is that maybe the next generation of digital assets ends up solving some of the original problems that Bitcoin set out to solve. Is XRP the next Bitcoin? If we work with the system to solve this problem, and we can solve that problem at scale, a problem measured in the trillions of dollars.
You have to be a visionary to lead a company like this. He navigated the SEC lawsuit with resilience. Brad didn't back down when the SEC came after Ripple with a massive lawsuit. He fought hard. And that 2023 ruling that XRP isn't a security for retail was a huge win for the whole crypto space. His grit and openness makes him a true leader we can trust.
It's not just about Ripple. It really is, as was introduced, that the whole industry is impacted by this decision. And the core question, as was kind of set up at the beginning, boils down to a 1946 Supreme Court case that has become known as the Howey test, a test to determine is something a security or not. And look, at the end of the day, we have other parts of even the United States government who have called XRP the digital asset that's native to Ripple's technology stack. It's been called a currency, it's been called property. The irony is the only country on the planet that thinks XRP is a security is the United States SEC. The case has gone well. It's still playing out. You know, the SEC, in our judgment, has certainly moved slowly. Typically, in these situations, when the SEC brings the case, they want to move quickly. They have been dragging their feet. Gary Gensler said recently publicly that justice delayed is justice denied, and unfortunately, justice is being delayed here by continued efforts by the SEC to push things out.
Strategic partnerships and Ripple payments growth. Brad's been crushing it, building Ripple payments with heavy hitters like Standard Chartered, American Express, and Tranglo, who's moving millions of transactions in Asia. He's got XRP powering lightning fast, super cheap payments across 70 countries. This guy's partnerships are making XRP a legit force in global finance.
At this is Ripple's really trying to solve that cross-border payments problem. Central bank digital currencies are domestic by nature. They're issued by a central bank or potentially issued by a central bank. So they're not really solving cross-border problems. They're solving domestic solutions more often than not. So look, I think that what we're seeing happen with stablecoins, we're seeing happen with central bank issued digital assets, I think is exciting. I'm not exactly clear how it's all going to play out. You're seeing countries experiment and test. Ripple has partnered with several central banks around the world. Some we've announced, some we haven't yet announced, that they're issuing and testing using the XRP ledger to issue their digital assets on the XRP ledger as a token. So
Regulatory advocacy and clarity, and not just for XRP, but for the whole crypto space. It could be easy for him to not mention anything else, but Brad Garlinghouse has consistently advocated for the whole crypto space.
I think indications are that, if, for example, there's some talk about a crypto reserve, I think that would end up including Bitcoin and other technologies, which, frankly, just makes sense from a diversification point of view. And so I'm very optimistic that it is a new dawn for the crypto industry in the United States.
Driving XRP's market success. Under Brad's Under Brad, XRP's been on fire, with a 300% price jump in 2024. How crazy is that? He's upfront about how Ripple uses XRP to stay profitable, and his bold predictions, like taking on Swift, get us all hyped for XRP's future. This guy's steering the ship to the moon. Innovative product expansion. Brad's not just sticking to XRP. He's launching stuff like the RLUSD stablecoin to make Ripple's ecosystem even stronger. He's snapping up companies like Medical to boost Ripple's tech, showing he's always thinking ahead. That's the kind of CEO who keeps XRP cutting edge.
And you're coming here with sort of good news, I guess, for people who have been following what you do. You could be launching your stablecoin a bit faster than most people thought.
Well, we've always been kind of consistent that we're going to do everything we can to launch this year. Everything Ripple does is in conjunction with regulatory approval, licensing, and so a key issue that we will continue to make sure we are partnered with U.S. regulators before we go live with the stablecoin. We'll first issue it, we expect, in the U.S., but we think there's opportunity for stablecoins globally. And certainly Japan, as you, I think, probably know, they approved some legislation a year ago that came into effect this year. And so there's a process underway now to do stablecoins here in Japan as well.
Yeah,
And this is nonstop, continuously looking for ways to expand the XRPL ecosystem. Building a strong team and culture, which is super important for a successful company. Brad's built an absolute dream team at Ripple, with rock stars like Monica Long and David Shorts driving innovation. His time at Yahoo and AOL taught him how to create a winning culture, and it shows in Ripple's success. He's the kind of leader who brings out the best in everyone. And guys, to end it off, Digital Asset Investor today had a post with Brad Garlinghouse's XRP tattoo. Let's take a look at what he said. I know many people who got tattoos when they were young and regret them because life changes. When someone with a Harvard MBA gets a tattoo after 50, they have thought it through and know it's only going to change in a good way. Lock in. Brad Garlinghouse, 1000%. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment and a like, and I'll see you in the next one.